Well, this is a weird video idea. I want to talk about all the talents. In a tier list, it doesn't really make sense, but I thought it was a good way for me to talk about each talent and kind of just like list them, depending on not necessarily how good they are, but how good I think the talents are designed and like where they're placed in the talent tree and how they interact with things. And I thought it'd be interesting. Anyway, I haven't planned this video at all. I think it's going to be very chatty. It's going to be probably pretty damn long, but just sit back, relax. You know, if this is your kind of thing, then we can have a chat. The main reason I was thinking about the talents is I don't think they're going to make any changes. Going into 10.1, I think that they're done now with the changes because it's coming out soon. So, yeah, I mean, I'll jump into it. First off, I'm not including like Raptor Strike, Kill Command, Kill Shot, Bomb, and Tip of the Spear because you have to take them. I will mention Tip of the Spear. I think it's stupid that it's placed where it is because you have to take these talents. It kind of means at the baseline, right? And that means that they can make other talents down the tree interact with these other talents without worrying about, like, for example, right? So you got Mongoose Bite. Mongoose Bite is cool, but you can't have other talents on the left side of the tree interact with Mongoose Bite because you might not pick Mongoose Bite. So because of that, you can have things interact with bombs and kill commands and whatnot, but you can't have things interact with Mongoose Bite. And that includes tier sets as well. That means when they're designing tier sets, they're very limited, right? They can't design a tier set all around Mongoose Bite because you might not pick it, which, like, they can't do that, right? And because Tip of the Spear is there, that's one of the same things, but you can't make anything interact with Tip of the Spear at all. So it's just stupid that it's placed there. This should be swapped with something. The talent itself is fine. It's just, it shouldn't be where it is. Anyway, as for the talents, I'm going to go through them one at a time, and then I'll place them in this list. I mean, S, it means this talent is damn good. That means I can't wait to pick that talent. That is one heck of a talent. A would be like, oh, that's a really good talent. I'm happy it's here. It's really good. It's not the best thing in the world, but it is good. And then B's middle of the pack is like, yeah, fine, that's there. It's got some interaction, maybe. It's not the worst thing ever. C is it's kind of bad. I would be happy if it's gone. It doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of one of those, okay. And then D is, I mean, maybe I should change this to just like these are real bad. These are real bad talents. I mean, can I change the color actually as well? I've not done this before. Oh, I can. I feel like real bad is red, and then this one should be there's blue. And then, yeah, anyway, let's start talking about them. And oh, I should also mention the ones with the same icons. Like, we've got Flanker's Advantage here and Killer Instinct. I've got like FA, Flanker's Advantage, KI, Killer Instinct, just to separate them. Same with Energetic Ally and Flanking Strike. Anyway, Flanker's Advantage is weird. It used to be part of Kill Command, then they split it into a talent, and I mean, it was the part of Kill Command you never cared about at all, ever, really. So, I mean, we still don't really care about this individual talent. It kind of blows. I should say it does interact with other talents, which is nice, I guess. I mean, it interacts with all the Kill Command reset stuff, and the Kill Command reset stuff is garbage as a mechanic. So, I mean, that kind of, it's good that it interacts, but it's bad that it interacts as well. I should mention as well, like, we didn't use this outside of Razagath. It was pretty sweet for it. It's like very, very niche use. And that was only because the shield phases, you could get Spearhead up for all three of them, and this helped you do that. Like, it made it more likely. So that's, like, it's bad. It's not real bad. It's not okay. I think it's a bad talent. Doesn't really feel good to get. You don't really notice anything. It does have some interaction. Just not good interaction. Is yeah. Harpoon's really good though. Let's talk about Harpoon. Harpoon's brilliant. Harpoon. Ugh. I forgot to split it up, but you know what? It doesn't even matter. Terms of Engagement is that good as well because it forces you to take Harpoon, and anything that forces you to take Harpoon is automatically amazing. Terms of Engagement's pretty sweet anyway. Being forced out of melee and then you get to Harpoon back in, you get a little DPS increase, you get that focus and stuff. Like Mythic Razagath, those knockbacks, everybody's complaining, they're getting tilted because they get knocked off. We get a DPS increase because of those wins. We get knocked, thrown miles away, we Harpoon back in, we get that extra focus. It's so damn good. I love Harpoon. Also, I mean, it defies gravity, right? You can fly through walls. Literally, you can fly through walls with Sentinel Owl. You can fly in the sky. if there's something in the sky to harpoon to. In terms of engagement, it just resets. You fight in a boss. I don't know, a demon hunter, he kills his little fodder of the flame enemy, and then it resets for you. It's so stupidly fun. So I'm happy with harpoon. I thought it was going to be bad. See, warriors, they used to hate having to run out of melee and then charge back in. I thought it was going to be similar, but it turns out when you've got bombs and kill commands and serpent stings, running out of melee briefly is fine when you can press something and then you harpoon back. It's really damn good. Yeah. And it's the complete opposite here, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Bloodseeker, though. I'll talk about Energetic Ally a little bit. Energetic Ally's one redeeming thing is that it's so weak that like it just makes terms of engagement a must take. If this is actually useful, maybe you'd want to take it over it. And it's got no redeeming factors. It doesn't do anything at all. It's more useless. I mean, it's so bad. I think I forgot to mention as well, I've put these percent damage increase talents down here. Like, none of them are really exactly very exciting. Ranger, notably, is the most interesting of the lot, but they're all still very boring, so they're in their own little thing, so I don't have to rank them all, because they all do the same thing and nobody really cares. Bloodseeker is really good as well, actually. This is another, like, our early talents, like, I think this is, if I'm rating it, this thing's great as well. It puts a bleed on your target when you kill command, and you also get the attack speed per target's bleeding, so that straight away is great. It kind of promotes putting lots of different kill command dots on the different enemies. So it's like tab targeting to put it on, but it's such a minimal increase that you don't have to do it, and I like that. I like that there is option to min-max, but it's such a small increase that you don't have to do it, but it feels good if you do it. Like, overall, it's actually really strong as well. Like, the dot is very noticeable. I love Bloodseeker as well. It's a really strong talent and really fun. Aspect of the Eagle, which has really niche use, but we haven't really used it at all. Like, this was the tier to have Aspect of the Eagle be good. I mean, I should mention at the start as well of if this tier, it was very bugged, and it let you have the 4-set buff from this tier set up permanently throughout the Aspect of the Eagle, which people definitely abused, and I think people actually really enjoyed it, and then they fixed it, and then they broke it more, apparently, so it just removes the buff. Basically, Aspect of the Eagle, in general terms, is like just that, I don't know, it can't compete with damage options very well. I don't really know how to rank it. I haven't used it since Shadowlands. Like, I haven't used it once in Dragonflight. I've never needed to. There's never been a reason to use it. The only time it would matter is if you were forced way back out of melee for like a really, really long time. But the issue is, like, who cares? We can throw bombs, we can kill command, we can serpent sting. We don't really care about, like, we have to be pushed out of melee for such a long time for this to be relevant at all. So it's kind of like, it just needs a little extra if it, but then does it because it's very fringe use. Maybe there is a time where it's actually good to take up. That time hasn't been yet, but it might be. Maybe next year there's a situation where we're out of melee for like 10 or 15 seconds and then it could come up. I don't know. I think it's not very good. I think it just needs a little extra. Just a little something. But I don't hate it. This is hard. Mongoose Bite, though. Mongoose Bite S. Do we even need to talk about Mongoose Bite? Mongoose Bite is... Mongoose Bite's the key ability. It's always been confusing that they made it into a talent. It's a really weird one to kind of talk about because it is literally what the spec should be built around, really. There's some people who don't like it, but then to them, why are you playing the spec if you don't like the signature ability? I don't know. Yeah, Mongoose Bite's great. There's some really good talents. You know, I've been complaining like, oh, talents suck. There's some really good ones though. So, you know, maybe I'm too negative because these are like, what? There's another good one. Guerrilla Is this an S? This might be an S2. Like, Guerrilla Tactics. Everybody's been asking for this to be baseline for ages. 2 bomb charges. Feels nice. The extra damage, yeah, that's cool too. It's mainly the 2 charges that feel nice. That's like the thing that kind of changes a lot of the playstyle. With 1 bomb, it just felt like you couldn't hold onto that charge ever. It makes the spec feel nicer to play, and anything that does that is really good. And I'm happy that it's high enough in the tree that you kind of have to take it. I think it's just these early talents. Like at the very top of the tree, it's really solid. A lot of the talents are really good. Like, I mean, these are all old talents as well, to be fair. But anyway, Flanking Strike's a weird one. We just have way too much focus generation in this expansion. I don't really like that it exists, honestly. Which is weird. It's nice because it's extra focus. Like it's so much focus, but we have too much focus, and it's just like you can actually play without this fine. This is actually a really good thing to drop in AoE because you just don't need the focus. But do I like the talent? Like, is it a fun talent? It's got a cool animation. It does a backflip. Like that's good. We've got too much focus. I don't like the fact we have too much focus. I think they should limit it or make this. It's just a weird one. It's a weird one. It doesn't really feel great. It's an extra button as well. We have too many buttons. In single target, it's kind of nice because like we do actually need the extra button in single target, but AoE just doesn't feel good to play with. It's like that middle. It's just a B. It's a B. I like this tier list. I've never done a tier list before. This is fun. I see why people do it all the time now. Okay, Lunge. Lunge has been updated now. It's got an extra effect. It was already really sweet. Now it's just even better. But there is, you know what? There is an issue with Lunge. I would say it would even be an S if it didn't have this issue. And that issue is that it has been bugged since it has been released. It has been bugged for a very long time. It only works with Mongoose Bite and melee attacks, like the auto attacks. It doesn't work with Butchery, even though it changes the tooltip. It doesn't work with Fury of the Eagle. It doesn't work with interrupts, I don't think. All the other melee buttons we have doesn't interact with them at all currently. It's bugged, right? So if this is fixed, heck yeah, love it. Right now it's like, yeah, it's still really good, but it could be better. Do I like move these as well, where it's like, oh, this one is the best, obviously, and then Harpoon's great, and then I don't know if that matters. Anyway, Lunge, it's the extra range is really nice. Now it's reducing the bomb cooldown, which is really sweet with the tier set that we're getting. Extra bombs. It's just really nice. I don't think I really need to explain why Lunge is nice, because extra melee range. We have a spear. This makes sense. Because we did already have it in Legion, then they took it away in BFA, now it's back. Yeah. Kill command, whatever this is called, intense focus. It's a weird icon, right? It's like a little sun. I don't really understand why, but anyway, intense focus is, it's weird. We just have too much focus. And it's one of those, I'm going to put it with flanking strike. I think it's the same kind of thing where it's, you pick it, you get extra focus. Nice. But we have too much to spend. It's not really a focus management spec when you're just given loads and loads of focus. So design-wise, I wish it wasn't so good. At least I wish we didn't have to take it because other options are weak. If they like buff other options and it actually became a choice, then I'd like it more. But yeah, right now it's just kind of whatever. And then Cav goes there, and then Butchery goes there. I think that's about right with these two. This is a pointless choice node. Butchery is really good. It has a really sweet animation. You do a little whirlwind. It has a really nice sound effect. It's just overall a really fun and satisfying ability to press. Cav is what was this choice? I don't understand why this is okay. So before Dragonflight, Cav was our baseline ability, and then Butchery was the upgraded version. Then they made this a choice node in Dragonflight. However, they didn't change the abilities to even them out at all. So now, yeah, Butchery is just the upgraded version of Cav. Cav, why does it exist if it's going to be that way? I get that it's supposed to be, this is for sustained, so you get more bombs and everything, but it doesn't work out like that. So this like needs a serious, but Cav needs a mega buff. And also to be changed so it's not just the same thing as Butchery. Otherwise, it's not really a choice, it's just you pick whichever one's better. Yep, I don't really understand this. Butchery, I love Butchery though. I mean, I don't think it's an S, I think it's an A. It could be better because, you know, Legion, it was better. We had Hellcarver. Anybody who plays Legion knows Hellcarver was great. Get something else like that. You just know it could be just a little bit better. Yeah, and then Frenzy Strikes. I mean, like, these were together before. These were one ability. Now they've changed it so it's two separate talents. So I don't really know how to rate this because, like, you always pick these two together. I don't think you'd ever pick them separately. But because they split it up, that's kind of lame. So, like, but yeah, this just means you press a Butchery, it reduces bombs cooldown, so synergy has not really much to say about Frenzy Strikes because they're practically the same ability, like you always take them together. So it's just there. I'll just put it there. It was whatever. Oh my god. This one. Bloody Claws. Bloody Claws. Why is this so bad? Bloody Claws is bad. Like, really, really, really bad. Not even just how it, like, first of all, it's a much worse flanker's advantage, yet it's further down the tree. Second of all, it interacts with Mongoose Bite. It's the first interaction with Mongoose Bite we have gotten since Legion, yet it's the worst way to, like, interact with Mongoose Fury stacks ever. It's counter synergistical. That's not a word, is it? I don't think so. Counter synergistical. Counter synergy. There is counter. When you get to high Mongoose stacks, what do you want to do? You want to press more Mongoose Bites to take advantage of those high stacks. Bloody Claws is like, hold up, why don't you press a kill command instead? Isn't that really fun? No, it's not fun. Bloody Claws needs to leave, needs to be removed, needs to be replaced. Please, thank you. It's almost as bad as Viper's Venom. These are the worst. I'll be real. Like, Bloody Claws, Viper's Venom, I should make an extra thing for these because these are two just abysmal talents. Right, so here's the thing. Viper's Venom, strength-wise, Viper's Venom, up here. This thing is insanely strong. Too strong. Design-wise, this makes it. So Serpent Sting, it used to be one of our core buttons that we used to press. This used to be a core ability of the spec. Now we don't even press it because of this talent. This talent totally ruins Serpent Sting. This existing means Serpent Sting kind of just sucks now. It also devalues Viper's Venom because it doesn't interact with Viper's Venom. So it means Viper's Venom sucks. No, yeah, that's what it's called. No, not Viper's Venom. Hydra's Bite. Makes Hydra's Bite suck. It's just an abysmal talent and I hate it so much. It used to be really good as well. I think that's even one of the worst things. Before Dragonflight, this talent was so fun. It was really good. It would make some Mongoose Bite or Raptor Strike would have a % chance to give you a buffed out version of Serpent Sting. So the next time you press Serpent Sting, it does way more damage and it's free of focus to it. It's just sad. It's just really sad that they made this and I hate it with a burning passion. I'm going to stop talking about that now. All right. Okay. Quick Shot. Quick Shot is probably the most mediocre talent you could ever make. You don't notice it. Actually, you do kind of notice it because you hear the sound effect, but it's not the most pleasing sound. It's an arcane shot sound effect. I think you notice it too much. Whenever I'm kill commanding and I hear the little arcane shot thing, it distracts me. It's like, oh, okay, cool. That happened. Nothing's changed, but something's happened. Maybe it's fine. It's like the most mediocre talent you could. It's so whatever. It's really weak as well. Like, it's so weak. It's cool because it synergizes with Ranger. I would say, like, I think Ranger is the standout talent of all these % damage increase things. It interacts with that, which is nice. It interacts with the kill command resets. Like that's a mechanic that I don't like, but it interacts with it. There's not really much to say. It's just so mediocre. It's really weak. You don't even want to take it. You only take it because it gives you access to other talents further down below it. I'd like to see some change with it. Like, just a little change would be nice. Anyway, Wildfire Infusion. Yeah, this is like, people like Wildfire Infusion. It's not actually that impactful, even though it seems like it. I wish it was. I wish Wildfire Infusion was further down, right at the bottom of the tree. Or there was like this and then talents to do with it below it. Because Wildfire Infusion is so interesting, yet it's kind of like just dumbs down because none of the bombs actually are that impactful. Like, basically, when you pick this, I want your rotation to kind of change a little bit because you got these colorful bombs that have these cool effects, but they're just, right now, you just don't really care about any of the effects because they're just not impactful enough. Which I would bring it down, but the concept of this is just so good and it's still fun. Like, maybe I should bring it down actually because it's not as good as it could be. Yeah, you know what? I'm bringing it down a bit because it could be so much better. It used to be more impactful, like a little bit more impactful. Now it's dumbed down with the green bomb where it just applies Serpent Sting again because for some reason they don't want us to press Serpent Sting. I don't know why, but yeah. Really good though, really good talent. Okay, this is going to be a roller coaster, this one. So Coordinated Assault by itself is abysmal. It's really, really bad. It's probably the weakest cooldown they've ever made in this game by itself. The stupid pet interaction. Like, having your pet special attacks give you a 3-second buff, which gives you a buff that empowers either your bombs or your kill shot, is first of all really bad because pets only use their special attack every 3.3 seconds, and having a 3-second buff makes no sense because it's going to drop randomly, and that feels really bad to play with, first of all. Second of all, the bomb one is really weak, and the killshot one is really strong. So you're playing this minigame where you're trying to avoid pressing your bombs and only pressing kill shots with the buff, and it's so bad to play with that you're basically forced into creating a macro to turn off your pet special attacks so that you can make it so your pet only uses special attack when you kill shot, because it just feels so bad when you bomb and then you lose the buff and then you go to kill shot and the buff's not up, and then yeah, it's just this I hate, but goddamn coordinated kill is really good. Like, I wish this was, imagine this being a cooldown. Like, you just remove coordinated assault, or this becomes coordinated assault, you press a button and you just get the effects of coordinated kill. That would feel so much better. Like, maybe this is an S because this just makes this abysmal talent actually become fun. Maybe. I mean, I don't think I can because the bomb part of it's kind of questionable. Like, I wish it didn't gain focus because now you just don't care about focus at all during coordinated assault, and I wish you did. I think if bombs cost focus during this cooldown, it would actually be better. I think it would be stronger and more interesting because you'd actually start having to spend focus in AoE, which right now we don't really care about doing. But yeah, coordinated kill, like, it's really good. I don't know if I should move these about a bit. These are really good. I want some of these in S. There's some really good talents in this tree. There's just some really bad ones too. Because, like, this is so good. Birds of Prey is so good. Killshot Cleaves? What? I love this. I love this talent. This is what the talent tree needs, is more stuff like this. Making it so, right. So the buff part of Killshot's kind of okay. And then you can get kill shots. You can get 4 kill shots off in a 20-second window. And also all of those kill shots now hit up to 4 targets. That's really, really, really cool. And I really like Birds of Prey. I just wish there was more like this. And then Bombardier is, I mean, it's all right, but bombs are really weak right now, so this is really weak. I think the issue with Bombardier as well is, so with Guerrilla Tactics, you get 2 charges of bomb instead of 1 charge of bomb. So you press Coordinated Assault, you get 2 charges. Coordinated Assault ends, you get another 2 charges for free. That's nice. It's maybe too many bombs. You're kind of forced to throw your 2 bombs before you press Coordinated Assault. So you go bomb, Coordinated Assault, and then you have another bomb, so you bomb again. The issue is if you have, for example, a blue bomb, you press blue bomb, then red bomb, and then you get another blue bomb. That's blue bomb, blue bomb, meaning that you overlap your first blue bomb with your second blue bomb, and even though Pandemic's a thing and it won't cancel out all of the debuff, it still cancels out a portion of it, and that just feels bad. So the concept is okay, but also with just, like, it's competing against Birds of Prey, right? And Birds of Prey is so good. Like, as a talent, it feels weird. I'd put it down here, but I don't hate it. I just don't like it. And then we have Spearhead. I like Spearhead. I think I like Spearhead. I mean, I thought I was going to really like Spearhead, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not as fun as I thought it was going to be. It's just kind of okay. It's really cool that it interacts with Mongoose Bite. I really like that. I think maybe an issue with it is you press it, but you don't really feel it, and it's a big cooldown, and you don't really notice any differences. Like, your Mongoose Bites are now putting a bleed on the target, but you don't see yourself doing bigger Mongoose Bites, and you don't really see the bleed damage that much unless you look at the details meter. And then also Kill Command's doing bigger damage, but like, at this point, you're in a cooldown and you're pressing lots of Mongoose Bites, you see big Mongoose Bites come up because Mongoose Bite does a lot of damage. Kill Command does very little damage, and you don't really notice the bigger Kill Command. Unless, once again, you look at details and you're like, oh, cool, 1 crit for 60k, that's nice. Oh, wow, 1 crit for, I don't know, 100k, damn, that's cool, but I didn't really see it when it was happening. So it's just, you don't feel it. And I think that's the issue with it. It's a big cooldown, but you don't feel it. Like, even the old Coordinated Assault we had, it's so boring, the old Coordinated Assault we had, where it just increases damage by 20%. But when you press it, you still see bigger numbers. You notice that you pressed a big cooldown. And this one, maybe it's just me, but you don't really notice it. So I think it's okay. I think it's good. But yeah, Deadly Duo as well. It's kind of the opposite of Coordinated Assault, where Coordinated Assault itself is awful, but then the talents below it make up for it. Deadly Jaw is like, does it make Spearhead better? And kind of like you're playing around it, you kind of switch up your rotation. That's the thing with Deadly Jaw, I guess, is now that you have Deadly Jaw, you do switch up your rotation. You're just pressing Mongoose Bite and kill commands, and that's kind of it. But is that good? You kind of change your rotation from however many buttons to 2. And does a spell that makes you just go down to 2 buttons bad? Is that bad for the spec? But then also, it kind of feels fun to do it because you get to press a lot more Mongoose Bites. Or, I don't know, it feels nice to keep the buff up, even if you don't really notice the buff. Because you see yourself extending it, does that make it better? I think it does. But is it good? Oh, this is such a weird one. But then with this, you do start to notice Spearhead because you get to extend it, and it feels good to extend it. Like when you have pulls and you extend it by a lot, like you get PI by a priest, you get heroism, you get it to like 30 seconds in your Spearhead window. That feels really fun. But then it is also very RNG. Like sometimes you get you get very few resets, and it screws up, and you feel bad when you don't get a very long Spearhead window. But then, yeah, it depends if you like RNG or not. I think a little bit of RNG is nice, and this is a little bit of RNG, so I think it's fine. I think it's good. I like it. I'm putting it here. It's A. It's like, I much prefer coordinated kill. I think it's good though. Explosive Expert. Why is this at the bottom of the tree? Because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't really do much. I don't know where to put this. It's not awful. It's not abysmal. It's just the placement of this in the tree. This should be like at the top of the tree. It doesn't really do much. It doesn't do a whole lot at all. It's fine that it exists. It's just, why does it exist at the bottom? I want to put it right here because I don't think I've played with it much. It's not even that bad. Like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. It's just, it's kind of like a whatever one. So I guess it goes there. Yeah, okay, fine. It can go there. I mean, it's not talking about it much. It's just, there's not much to talk about. I don't really know how to analyze this because I haven't used it that much, and it doesn't really alter anything at all. So, Fury of the Eagle, I like Fury. Fury of the Eagle's cool. Okay, Fury of the Eagle. So you use it, it's a button, you press it. It used to be cooler in Legion, so that's going to deduct points automatically. If this still interacts with Mongoose Bite, oh, that would be so good, but it doesn't interact with Mongoose Bite. You don't gain damage depending on your Mongoose Fury stacks with it, so that brings it down. Also, it has the reducing cooldown with kill command. I've never noticed that ever. I've never been like, wow, my Fury of the Eagle is up 3 seconds faster. You barely ever press kill command, so that interaction's weird. Also, it crits more with 20% less health. You do kind of notice that, actually. I like Fury of the Eagle. As a whole, it's like, it's just a button, you press it, it does damage in front of you. It's fun. But it's also an extra button. We have too many buttons in AoE, but it is a nice option. Especially in like raid bosses where you don't want to spend the 2 points on Butchery and Frenzy Strikes, and pressing one or spending one talent is much easier, and it still outputs quite a bit of damage, like on some bosses. I think it's a really cool option, but it also, yeah, it does clutter up the AoE rotation. I like it. I'm putting in an A. It's my list. I like it. I can understand why people really don't like it because it's an extra button and it's a channel time, and the animation kind of sucks and it's really small and it bugs out all the time. You know what, maybe it shouldn't go in A. It bugs out a lot where if you didn't know that there's a cone issue in the game that's been going on for quite a while now, where cone-like abilities don't really work. It's kind of like on and off. It seems like a daily thing. Like sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes this frontal ability doesn't actually like go in the front. It's like on the side, or it's just, you have to position your camera angle weird for it to actually work. That bug sucks, but I like it. I don't even care. I'm putting it in A. I really like Fury the Eagle. I think it's cool. Ruthless Marauder, though, I don't it's been changed, so it's not as bad as it was, because it used to be 3 points for this. Now it's only 2 points. Still, it's not exactly very fun. It's also very bugged. It's been bugged throughout its entire lifetime. It has been bugged in different ways. At one point, it did one thing, then they fixed it, and then they broke something else with it, and it's just always been bugged. It doesn't really do what it says it does, but it's not abysmal. It's just like really bad. Yeah, basically when you press it, all you really care about is the extra bomb you get. It could be so much better. So it goes here. It goes right there. No, it goes here. There we go. But hopefully one day they change this completely and make Fear the Eagle just the beast of an ability, because it has so much potential to be really fun and interactive and part of the rotation and just, instead of just pressing it randomly. I feel like Fury of the Eagle needs to go down here. I can't justify it being that high. It's like, or like there. Fine, whatever. Keen Eyesight. So I'm going to start talking about the normal Hunter tree stuff now. Keen Eyesight, yeah, I mean, it kind of belongs in the percent damage increases because it is just crit. It's not really anything exciting, but it does interact with Kill Shot, and it does interact with Master Marksman as well. The extra crit chance is nice. It's percent, so it's not like just a number. You're always going to have that extra 4%. Yeah, I don't really know how to analyze it because it is just crit chance. It's not like it's going to change up your stats all that much, but it does potentially change up your stats and what you want and everything. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this. I could just put it in the percent damage increases because it's just a very bland talent. Because it's so bland, I guess I should put it down here. We can throw it there because it's just so damn bland. Maybe it goes down lower. No, I'll put it there. Right, Master Marksman. Master Marksman is... you don't notice it. Master Marksman, you notice it when you look at details. You see it doing quite a lot of damage. And also it makes you want to get more crit. So it makes you stack your gear differently. Might make you want to get more crit and everything like that, which is pretty cool. But you don't actually notice anything that happens. So it's kind of hard to like say it's amazing. It's a very just whatever talent again, but it's at least kind of fun. I've just realized, is that an eye? I guess it is an eye. That the icon's interesting. There we go. Gets bonus points for an interesting icon. But honestly, it's really strong. And yeah, you just don't notice it. That's the issue with it. You just don't notice it at all. Death Chakram is a button you press and it gives you more focus. I've already mentioned this a lot. We have too much focus. Way too much focus, actually. It's pretty good in single target. It does damage. It gives you focus. You notice it when you press it. It doesn't exactly interact with anything, but also it's fine. It's the weakest. So I think this is the annoying part with Death Chakram, is that out of all of the Shadowlands Covenant spells, this was the lamest one. This was the one you just... The only fun thing with this was that it used to proc Explosive Shot, and why doesn't it do that? That would be so much more fun. Imagine you press Death Chakram and it fires out an Explosive Shot. I was like, some way to make it do that, like a talent below or something, because that was really cool. That was the only fun part of Death Chakram in Shadowlands. Now it's just here and it's not exactly fun. I don't really like pressing it. They also changed the animation. The animation is just chakrams now. Why isn't it a Death Chakram? It's still called Death Chakram. The old animation was a lot better than the new one. That's really confusing. And I know you might say like, oh, why are you talking about animations? They don't really matter. They kind of do. Like when you press a Mongoose Bite, one of the best things about Mongoose Bite is that the animation changes. Each time you press a Mongoose Bite and it stacks up those Mongoose Fury windows, you get a different animation. You start doing backflips at the end. It's really cool. Animations they're important. So this having such a lame animation compared to what it used to have, I'm deducting points. It's just a thing you don't care about again. It's one of these, like B is mostly don't really care about or just kind of mediocre stuff. And I guess I care about it more than Master Marksman. But yeah, Stampede. How do I talk about Stampede? Stampede, I really like Stampede. It's a bunch of it's a conga line of derpy animals. And it's actually pretty strong in AoE. Sadly, they have recently buffed Death Chakram. They buffed its damage by 100%. So Stampede is now kind of like, why? Why you do this? Now we don't really want to press or take Stampede anymore, ever. But Stampede as an ability is more... With the time I've used it, I have both really liked it and really hated it, because if you didn't know, that when you press Stampede, you get a big line of animals. When they hit enemies, it puts a debuff on the enemy, so the enemies take more crit chance, or have more chance to be critically striked. The issue is, if the mobs move out for any reason, then that debuff goes away. So if your tank moves them out of the conga line, then you lose the crit chance. And it's very easy to do because these animals are invisible for everybody but you. So the tank can't see the animals, and that really, really doesn't make sense. It's basically like in Shadowlands, if you had wild spirits, yet nobody else could see the wild spirits. Or you had Resonating Arrow, nobody could see the Resonating Arrow. You have to keep the mobs in that area. but the tank can't see the area. So really, really bizarre. Like, it's bad, right? I really, I just like the derpy animals, honestly, and it's quite fun to press, but it's just, it doesn't make sense, and it really needs a little look at, really, and a buff as well to, like, why did Death Chakram get buffed? It's one of the most confusing buffs I've ever seen them do, because it's just destroys this choice node from being the only choice we had. This was literally the only choice node that was relevant for Survival Hunter in any way, and then they destroyed it. And that really, really sucks that they did that. So Stampede goes like here. It's just, it has too many issues. I wish it was good. And I think that's this tree. That's the Survival Hunter and the Hunter tree for me. Is there's so much potential. There's so many cool things that could be done with it. It's just, they're not done. They're just anyway. Steel Trap. Steel Trap is really not useful. I like traps. I'm like one of the few people who actually likes the trap mechanic in the WoW game, and yeah, I get you can miss them and that sucks, but and you kind of have to macro them as well, so there are curses, but I like traps. I'm kind of sad that they nerfed it and you don't get to use it. It's just too weak, and I mean, it's not like it really interacts with anything but the bleed, so there's not really much to say. I haven't used this since, I mean, it's good for PvP, right? But I mean, this is just PvE. So PvP, I get PvP, but this thing's great. But PvE, just some kind of interaction, actually does damage would be good. Yeah. Oh, I've got too many things. I don't think I can do the utility things. I'm already getting overwhelmed with the where to put this thing. And because I think it goes in C, right? It's not very good, but I mean, it's not bad. But it's also an extra button. Do we want the extra button? But then it's only an extra button in single target. I'm putting it here. Steel Trap can go there. Maybe one day we'll use it. Maybe. Maybe some trap mechanics will come in. They had Nesting Warriors trapping apparatus in the beta. They removed it though. I kind of liked that playstyle in Sanctum. I am like the only person who did. Most people really didn't like Survival Hunter in Sanctum because of the trap mechanic. So I totally understand that they don't want to do traps anymore. But I don't hate it. Serrated shots, I really like. I like this. Serrated shots, is it like an S though? It's really good as a talent. It makes bleeds better, and bleeds are fun. And also it has that kind of like the execute kind of thing where your bleeds are doing extra damage in execute range, which is really, really cool. I really like serrated shots, like really like it. And it's not even that, like it doesn't do that much, right? But it's cool. I think it's gonna go like here though. Oh, but I really like it. Oh, but I really, really like it. Like, it's not super strong, but it's kind of strong, and it's like, hey, you can make this bleed build. And you can't really make this bleed build because we don't have enough bleed things to make a bleed build. But imagine if we had like different talents that did different things, and we had a bleed build we could do. Oh, and then there's a poison build, and there's a trap build. Oh, so many possibilities. But yeah, I like that it exists. So it goes here. I think it goes. Yeah, it goes here. There. It goes right there. Arctic Polar. I don't really notice this. Sometimes it's like procs like crazy, and you look at your details, and it's doing way high damage. And then sometimes it doesn't proc at all, and it's like a tiny amount of your damage. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those whatever talents you don't really notice it at all. But it interacts with Mongoose Bite. Mongoose Bite's cool, so. But it also doesn't interact with anything, so it's not like I hate it. It's like just one of those whatever talents, right? Explosive shot. All right, you ready for this? I'm about to blow people's minds with my opinion. I'm about to make somebody mad because I don't like explosive shot. I wish it didn't exist in Survival Hunter's kit. Explosive shot is just the extra button we don't want, or at least I don't want. We have too many buttons in AoE. I like Fury of the Eagle. I want to press Fury of the Eagle. I feel like we need at least one less button. And I vote for Fury of the Eagle over Explosive Shot. I think one of these two has to go in the rotation. The rotation is just too cluttered. And I hope Explosive Shot disappears because it's not even that fun to press. You press it and then a few seconds later it goes kaboom. Maybe that is fun, but I don't know. There's not really much to say about it. It has a 30-second cooldown, which doesn't line up with anything at all. Why does our spec have like a 15-second cooldown? We've got a 30-second cooldown ability. Then we have a 45-second cooldown ability. Then we got a 1.5-minute cooldown ability. Then we have a 2-minute cooldown ability. It's just all over the place with the numbers. Oh, 5-second death check. I mean, these two line up. But explosive shot, it just doesn't line up. It's just there, but I don't like it. I wish I didn't have to press it. And it does so much damage in AoE as well. So it's kind of one of those where I just wish it didn't exist. A lot, actually. I really don't want this in the game. But I don't think it's harming the spec at all. It's just, this is more of a personal thing. I can, like, if you think explosive shot is great, you love explosive shot, then cool. Like, I get it. But me personally, I wish it wasn't there. So I'm putting it here. Why is there a button in the game that Survival Hunter can choose that requires a ranged weapon? Why does Barrage require a ranged weapon? Like, maybe it doesn't make sense that your little crossbow can't shoot really fast and stuff. But why is it there then? Why can we choose it? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, hey, here's a choice, explosive shot, or this thing that you can't use at all, even if you wanted to use it. Like, I mean, I used it on Mythic Broodkeeper for fun, and it's awful. It's currently bugged as well. I don't really want to talk about Barrage too much because it's so bad, but like, if you weapon swap, it cancels your coordinate assault cooldown. So even if you wanted to use it, even if you're like crazy and you want to weapon swap to use it, you can't use it during your cooldowns, and it's real bad. It's real bad. So hopefully this gets a look at one day. I feel like it should do. Anyway, Serpent Sting. Serpent Sting was one of our core abilities, but thanks to Viper's Venom, we don't press it anymore. But we still take it as a talent, even though we don't press it, just so we can get poison injection, which is weird. So yeah, it's really hard to put this anywhere or talk much about it. It's a bleed, it's a dot that you put on the target. It's not bleed, it's nature damage. But you put a dot on the target and it does damage, and you don't notice it ever. So yeah, I wish you noticed it. I wish we could press this. I so wish we could press this. I really like the, poisons and stuff. That's a really cool theme. Like a pretty cool sub theme that the spec used to have, and now it doesn't have it at all. And I just kind of miss a lot. There's kind of that with Serpent Sting for me. It's like, this used to be really cool, but now it's just doesn't exist. I'm still putting in B though, because I don't even know. Like, this is a weird. I don't know where I put that one. Poison injection is cool. I'm putting it up here. Poison injection. I kind of wish it did more damage, honestly. Poison injection is cool because in single target you don't notice it, but in AOE it's kind of like Bloodseeker, where you can min max and you can hit targets with high stacks. So poison injection is just overall super cool. A shame that you can't have Serpent Sting, poison injection, the old Viper's Venom, and Hydra's Bite again, because that used to be really fun. But at least it's still here. At least we can still take it. Currently, Hydra's Bite's 2 weeks, so we have to take it. Oh, we should take it in AoE anyway, and that's where it's fun to play. Latent Poison, really fun in AoE, doesn't do anything in single target. Or at least you don't notice it in single target. Yeah. Oh, I'm talking a lot. I don't know what's next. Hydra's Bite sucks. No, Hydra's Bite's cool, but it's too weak. If this is stronger, but then it devalues poison injection if it was strong. So it's a really weird choice now. Do you want these two together? But you can't have them together. It's like that forbidden fruit. You really you can't have this cool combo. It's a really fun combo. So yeah, I don't know, I'm throwing it in B. Whatever. It's like, I don't know, that's cool, but also not really. There you go. It goes there. Alpha Predator. Okay, so Alpha Predator and Killer Instinct. I have to kind of take into account where it is in the tree and how you have to take a Beastmaster, whatever improved kill command I think it's called. I don't have the names. I'm probably putting the names up on the screen somewhere so you can see what the abilities do. But whatever these two are called, you have to take them to get these two abilities. And the issue is that Beastmaster and improved kill command both are really weak, because kill command is really weak for us. So the fact that you have to take these two, which is 4 points to take to get one of these talents, that's a big hill to climb over. So these talents have to be really good to spend 5 points to get, and they're not very good. I think I mentioned it a lot, but we have a lot of focus, too much focus. Getting more focus, getting more kill commands. it's too many. We already have too many kill commands to press. We don't want more because we just can't. We can't handle more kill commands. It literally does nothing right now for us. With the tier set, yeah, it kind of interacts with the tier set, and it would be good if you could just choose Alpha Predator by itself. Then I like it. I like it a lot, but because you have to go over this hill and you can't reasonably ever take it, it's kind of just like I have to put it low, right? Because it's just you can't feasibly ever take it, and that just sucks a lot. And Killer Instinct's the same. I mean, it's like Killer Instinct could be kind of unique with Spearhead because Spearhead buffs your kill commands and makes them kind of big. This could be like a cool, unique option if you could actually take it, but you can't reasonably take it because you're going to spend 4 points to get one talent that's worth just 1 point by itself. Pretty much that whole section, that whole left point of the normal hunter tree is just for BM hunters. Marksmanship's never going to take this. Survival hunter's never going to take it. I feel like I should put them lower, but by themselves, these talents are fine. It's just you can't take them because you have to go over these really, really weak talents, which you just don't want to take. And then you've got better options. And yeah, like I said, the Alpha Predator, it interacts really well with our next tier set coming up, like the one in the next patch, 10.1. It's just like, I don't think it's going to be worth getting it though still. Yeah, anyway, that's like a little talk about all the damage talents. I mean, I could do the utility ones, but this took a while, I think. I haven't timed it, but it's probably a while. But yeah, just a little talk about them. I wanted to talk about stuff. If this was interesting, then, comment, tell me how you really like Explosive Shot. I feel like some people probably do, and that's probably I hope I've made people mad. I hope there's some people who are like, why is Barrage down here? I love Barrage. I love Barrage too, but no, you can't use it reasonably. Weapon swapping is not good. Maybe I should move stuff about, but I'm happy. It's just, the tier list is for fun. Don't read into this. I just want us to talk about stuff, and it's a fun, unique way of talking about it, putting it on a tier list and rating it. This isn't like how often you take them necessarily. It's just my opinion on how good the talents are in the tree and what talents kind of suck and maybe should get a little attention. And the ones that are really good, we need more like this. But overall, I would like more interaction. I think it would be cool if we had some more stuff, like kind of, you can have the explosive stuff, you can have all the bomb stuff, and then you can have all the mongoose bite stuff, and then you can maybe have a little bit to do with bleeds, and then you can have a little bit to do with, people don't like traps, but traps, and there's the poisons, and I just want a little bit more class fantasy, maybe. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe it would be cool. Less kill command reset stuff would be amazing. Anyway, yeah, comment down below. Tell me what you think should be changed or what you don't like, what you do like, because I will answer. I'm always really happy to see people talking about Survival Hunter and like saying what they like and don't like with the spec. It's always super fun to look at. And also, I want to mention it because I was going to make a video, but if you sat through all this, then the mongoose bite nerf that they did recently, they didn't nerf it. I was going to make a video on it, but I want to slide it in at the end of this video because I don't want people to really talk about it. But for anybody who actually sat through this, yeah, it didn't get nerfed. If you didn't know, Survival Hunter, nobody actually plays the spec in Blizzard, I don't think. So yeah, they nerfed the mongoose bite from Legion. They've done this a few times now where they nerf abilities that aren't currently in the game, but they're in the game files. So yeah, mongoose bite nerf didn't go through. We're fine. It's currently Legion. Survival Hunters are crying, the ones from many years ago. I don't even know how they did it. Anyway, yeah. To have a good day. And yeah, don't worry, we haven't been nerfed. We're still strong. Woo, yeah, like we're probably the top spec now for a single target at least. So heck yeah. Anyway, goodbye.